Oh, welcome back, everybody. Slim Slam and the Bandwagon fan coming back to you now for the AFC South. I'm Slim, he's Slam, and to my left, that is the Bandwagon fan. As always, folks, proudly brought to you by the Jersey Cartel on Facebook and JRV Electrical. Boys, how are we?
Excited, Blaze.
Excited. Yeah. That's a good word for it.
It's hard to say about the South, but I'm trying.
Yeah, good. Don't mind that.
I could sense the sarcasm in that because I was looking at him going the South. Actually, to be honest, though, I am a little bit excited to talk about the South because the number one draft pick, Trevor Lawrence.
That is something.
That is something that the South are going to be able to hang their hat on for the next decade.
So we're not really setting the bar. Well, yeah, for the next decade is a nice token, but for this year...
Don't be silly, Blaze.
We're not setting the bar that high.
Do not be silly.
We're looking forward to it. Today, we're going to start from the top and work our way down, which is a bit converse to our last episode. But I think the pressing question for this division is who's going to win it, Slammer?
Who's going to win it? I've got the Titans winning it, Blaze. They're going to win 12-5.
And Schnazi, do you concur?
I have the Titans also winning it at 11-6.
So a little bit of parity there. Not too much dissimilarity in the parity and dissimilarity. Whoa. I was working hard there to get through my alliteration, but I fell over. But the Titans.
The Titans. Derrick Henry's team.
Derrick Henry's team.
Or Ryan Tannehill's team. I'm going with Derrick Henry.
Julio Jones.
You're going Tannehill over Julio Jones?
No.
It's a big signing though, Schnaz.
No, it is a big signing. It's also sad to see Julio leave the nest as well.
It is.
But the Titans, once again, on the back of Derrick Henry and almost an MVP caliber type season, it's hard to see him slowing down anytime soon. It's good to see Ryan Tannehill's found a home where he's settled and he's playing well. And it's hard to fault the Titans in a division where the Colts are their number one competitors, and they made the big trade for Carson Wentz in the offseason, but you know, as always with Carson Wentz, he's found himself injured again and won't be starting the season. So
and unvaccinated.
Yeah, so
which is a consideration these days, apparently.
It is. So what we've got here is the Titans pretty much being the dominant team in this division with a team who was the worst team in the league last year, hence getting Trevor. And then you've also got the Texans, who's got the more turmoil going on than players who aren't vaccinated.
Who will probably be the worst team in the league this year. So
We'll get to those boys. They won't take too long at the conclusion of the show.
So in essence, the Titans don't have much competition.
No.
So I don't think there's a lot to say about them. I think 11-6 is maybe slightly unders. I don't think they have as good year as last year.
Okay.
Purely based on the fact that I think Ryan Tannehill had a career year. Well, he didn't.
Okay.
I don't think he did. He did.
So you're saying they get Julio Jones and they get worse?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying because I don't think Ryan Tannehill will play up to that same level. And I'm saying it's going to be very hard for Derrick Henry to have a season that was on parity with last year.
I like it.
I think he'll be great.
It's a hot take.
I think you're not far off the money, really, the way you broke it down. I mean, Julio is getting a bit older. Obviously, he's getting into a new offense this year, and the quarterback play of Ryan Tannehill with last season notwithstanding has often been a little bit up and down and inconsistent. So,
does it worry you now that Blaze agrees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got him going 15-2.
Yeah.
Probably deserved that one. Thank you.
So they picked up Bud Dupree and Janoris Jenkins. And
no one asked.
They picked up.
No one
Julio
asked you,
Jones.
mate. No one asked you, mate.
Don't be silly, Blaze. So I got them 12-5. Did they lose much in free agency? No, they lost Johnny Smith and Adoree Jackson and Corey Davis as well. Yeah. And Jadavian Clowney is now out of there as well. He's in Cleveland.
That was a failed experiment.
It's not a big loss.
No, it wasn't. But that did not pan out the way they were hoping it to.
Well, that's what we said that all year. They needed something. They needed a pass rusher on defense, and that's what probably the missing ingredient was. And Jadavian unfortunately didn't live up to it.
No,
and they really needed him to. That's the saddest part about it. They were, right amongst it for the last couple of seasons now.
Yeah,
and they spent a bit of coin to get him over there. He took a gamble and it didn't work out.
Did not work. You're not wrong. You know what I'm most looking forward to about this team for the entire year? Whenever they play Baltimore, because that is chippy. They hate each other.
Yeah.
And they knocked Baltimore. No, Baltimore knocked them out
in the end
last year.
Yes. Correct. Yep. After
and there was the dancing on the logos. There's all that. So there's a lot of bad blood there.
And they do cross paths.
Yeah.
So
both are
There'll be fireworks.
Run heavy offenses.
Yep.
So
I'm looking forward to chatting Baltimore in the next episode.
I'm interested. Sorry.
No, you go.
I am interested to see how this pass attack goes because as you just said then, or was it Janaz who said that's a run heavy team.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is going to be the main point. Yes, we all know that. But they've got AJ Brown.
Yep.
They've got now Julio Jones. They drafted a wide receiver in the 5th round, Des Patrick, and you just want to see if they've got all those weapons now at wide receiver, like Julio's a beast. Julio's been the best wide
They're
receiver.
definitely
of the
less
last 10
one-dimensional this year.
Yes,
They should be.
They should be. Which means you have to respect the outside as well. So they're going to be less people in the box. So if anything, this is going to sound outrageous, but Derrick Henry's numbers could go up.
Well, it depends which way you cut it, isn't it? Is it going to be the play-action game that's going to start to carry him, or is it going to loosen the box, like you say, for Derrick Henry?
If it loosens the box, that's a worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I still think though, when you got Julio, when you got Julio on the outside, right? You're gonna have to you have to respect him with targets. So you're gonna that's gonna mean you still got AJ Brown there. He's still gonna get his numbers.
Yep.
Right. So it's an equation, right? You only got so many offensive plays for the game.
Yes.
Derrick's gonna lose possessions, but what you're saying, his yards per carry might go up.
Yes.
Which is, in my opinion,
Scary
almost unfathomable. Scary.
Yeah.
With how well he was going last year.
If they can't shove 9 defenders into the box to clamp that up and just play like man on the outside, that's a worry.
It is.
And you took the hot take of Stafford for MVP at 18s. I don't know what Derrick Henry's floating around, but with those kind of comments, you think obviously it's a quarterback award. Obviously it's a quarterback award. But, there does come a time. Derrick Henry's been in that conversation a little bit lately.
Oh, absolutely. I think he was
as the only one probably capable.
I think he was voted in the NFL Players Association the top 100. I reckon he was 4th.
I think
they voted him as the number 4 player.
He was definitely top 5 from what I read.
Mahomes 1, and then Donald 2. Rodgers was 3 after his MVP year, and I'm pretty sure that Derrick was 4.
Yeah.
King Derrick. Yeah, it's one of those ones now. It's good for the Titans to almost, like, if Derrick Henry went down last year, Titans season derails a bit.
100%.
But now they've got Julio in there. As we said, they've got AJ Brown. They do have that offense. They do have that secondary option. The playbook expands a little bit this year, which is good, which should make him a better team. I just have still question marks on Tannehill. Can he play as consistently as he did last year?
Yeah.
That's my take on him.
They actually had an undrafted player they picked up at running back as well, who in the preseason played really, really nicely. So if he's in there just to mix things up as well, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean the word
that comes against it to get.
Yeah, he's not going to be getting many carries, but he might get a couple.
The word that comes to mind when I think about Tennessee lately is certainly balance, and I think when you think about it from the top down, now they've got some consistency at the quarterback position. They've got consistency, obviously, at running back. They've added Julio into that. They've essentially swapped Julio for Corey Davis, really.
Yes.
So that's an up.
That's an upgrade.
And I think,
it's definitely an upgrade.
And that defense, as much as the pass rush leaves a little bit wanting, I think taking some steps forward there through the preseason and whatnot, they could turn into a really solid AFC.
Yeah, I'd like to see to be in contention. I think they're going to win this division, right? But to be in contention for the conference, they need to get better on defense.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if they've done enough to dress it over the offseason. That's my one knock on them.
This is a team that 2 postseasons ago did start red hot against the Chiefs and had them right under the gun.
Yeah.
So they've been around the mark, but like you say, that defense then ended up coughing plenty of points on a run. So I think that's probably the watch from us. Anyway,
I think the thing here, Blaze, is look. They're the third best team in the they might not be the third best, but they're not on the same level right now as the Chiefs and the Bills, and that's where they need to get to. Correct. But they're not there right now.
And why? And it's because of the quarterback position.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
that's it.
It's a quarterback league.
It's so often
those
where
two
it comes
teams
down
have
to.
superstars.
So often.
And Tannehill's a good quarterback, but he's not a superstar.
Yep. He's not going to win you the game. Maybe that's part of the Julio situation. But Tennessee, we've got them winning the division on both sides of the table here.
12-5 and 11-6.
In the second position, you boys have agreed with the Indianapolis Colts.
9-8 for the Colts.
Yep.
We now I'm a little bit unsold on this 9-8, to be honest. I think it could be slightly overs. I think they're incredibly talented and gifted, and they're a great defensive side on the defensive side of the football. I think on the offensive side, we were just having a chat before about, do we actually know who their second string quarterback is?
And we didn't.
Who is now number 1 on the depth chart because of Carson Wentz. And it turns out it's Jacob Eason, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not much experience in the NFL. Sitting underneath him, you've got, is it Sam Ellinger?
Sam Ellinger.
So Jersey Cartel's very own favourite.
Yeah.
2 rookies, essentially.
Yeah.
This is why...
Both never played it down.
Exactly right. So this is why I was thinking that this is a team that if Carson Wentz's injury is prolonged, they go after someone like Cam Newton because they've got to win now. Like they lack a little bit in the receiver room, but you don't need Cam because you're not going to need to target the receivers. And we know Cam can carry the ball. He can also throw it when he needs to.
They've also got that fantastic offensive line and Jonathan Taylor, who they drafted last year,
who had a really solid year last year.
So if Carson Wentz wasn't there, I think they'd have to go into a run-heavy style.
Exactly right. So Colts for mine, if Wentz is injured longer than it's currently being reported, they have to go after an experienced quarterback who's just got cut.
What are they reporting at the moment? Is it about 5 weeks they're saying at the moment? Is that?
Yeah, but when has a Wentz injury ever gone to the timeline?
Yeah, that is true.
It's like a Sam Darnold injury. When has it ever gone to the timeline?
It's just too. It's that
I don't
bloke
think you can blame that on Sam. That's the Jets.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the medical staff at the Jets.
He's
got mono. Yeah, we'll be back next week.
You know the only guy. The only
how it
medical
works.
team. The only medical team going worse is that guy who still punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung.
the
from
bloke at Chargers. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the
Ultimately,
MetLife Stadium ground staff.
Ultimately, that bloke is going really well. He did that franchise a huge service.
If he did not get a pay rise in the offseason plays,
little bit of
he deserves one.
maybe paper bag money on that one.
Yeah, there's under the table stuff happening.
A little bit of suspect stuff. But Carson Wentz remains a liability, obviously. His injuries have been a concern in his Philly days. Now he's back at the Colts with Frank
He's an
Reich.
upgrade
Yeah.
on Brissett
Yeah.
when he plays.
Oh,
and
massively.
And going back 3 years, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, he was MVP up until halfway through that
Yeah.
season. Yeah. He's gotten him to the playoffs like 3 or 4 times. He's played 7 minutes of playoff football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He's just
ridiculous.
never available.
Yeah.
It's getting to a point now where it's just almost like, all right, we know you're a great quarterback, but, injuries.
But
it's that whole risk and reward thing again that we talk about.
Part of ability is availability. You have to be on the park.
That's good from you, Sam.
I'm going to pose maybe a historical aspect to this question to you a little bit. Can you think of a quarterback that has had so many injury concerns in such little time at the start of his career? It just seems like
nothing's springing.
He's at a position where often those injuries come from, big hits and big impacts and, maybe you do a knee or, pop shoulders and that kind of stuff. But Carson just seems to me like there's a lot of innocuous...
He did his knee right, though.
Did his knee.
Yeah.
Did his knee that knocked him over. But there's a lot of innocuous injuries that seem to just continually pop up with this bloke.
They take longer than they should.
It just seems to be consistent.
It's almost,
I can't think of anything.
It's almost like the
Benjamin... Not as early on in a career
Yeah.
and not as many times as it's happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the Benjamin Button, so the reverse of Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
So at the end of Andrew Luck's career, he just couldn't stay on the park.
Yep.
One of the most talented, gifted quarterbacks.
And he left it all out there.
And he's hung it up. He's gone, I can't do it anymore. The injuries have got to me. Wentz could quite well be in a similar spot.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the thing that's a shame about that now is Indianapolis' offensive line is fantastic.
And it was built for Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
we praise the front office. We're like, oh, you've built such a great team on defense. You've got such a great O-line. But maybe if you did it 3 years earlier, you'd still have one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is a truly sad
They need to go and
story.
see if they can get him out of retirement, basically.
Those rumours seem to perk up every now and then.
Yeah, I know.
Just every 2 or 3 months.
If you take the 2 years off and get the body right, surely he'd be sitting there thinking, I'm not that old.
I could still do this.
Yeah.
He must be checked out now.
Yeah, it'd be a decent paycheck to be turning down, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
So obviously the Colts, their boys, a bit standoffish, obviously with the Carson issues at quarterback, with Jacob Eason or potentially Sam Ellinger. There's just a lot of ifs with that franchise.
Yeah, there is to be honest.
Did I tell you that they got Eric Fisher?
No.
Yeah. They got Eric Fisher after his Achilles injury from the Chiefs.
But how long is he still out for? He won't be back.
He missed most of the year, won't he?
Yeah.
No, I think he's supposed to be back around week 6.
Oh, really?
That's what I was reading, yeah.
Popping an
I thought Achilles are about 12 months
They also
historically.
picked up Xavier Rhodes. Remember the guy out of Minnesota who started out super hot and then
cornerback.
the next year was just horrendous. Yes.
Yeah.
And they re-signed T.Y. to a 1-year deal.
He's going to be doing that for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While
T.Y.?
they're still in contention.
T.Y.'s 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll look at this division in 2 halves, right? You've got the Titans and the Colts.
Yep.
So they're clearly going to be the 1 and 2.
They're trying to push.
Then you've got the other half. So we've got the Jags and the Texans. So Sam and I have split the deck here.
Yep.
I've gone the Jags at 4 and 13. Slam, what have you gone?
I've got the Jags at 3 and 14, but I've actually got the Texans at 4. But I think after finding out that Deshaun won't be playing at all, I'd rather change that to a 0.
So that's not confirmed that he's not playing at all. It's just very unlikely from all the reports that he will be playing.
So let's touch on Deshaun afterwards. So obviously
Jags.
the Jags.
I got him winning week 1.
Yep.
Winning week 1 in Houston.
All big.
Yeah. I got him going there and winning.
I've also got them winning there too.
Yeah. That's where
I'm really keen to see Travis.
Travis.
I was about to say Travis Etienne
Too busy
play.
thinking about Travis Kelce.
And then I was
mate, I understand it.
It was on the tip of my tongue, but he's actually injured.
Yeah.
So I was going to say the 1-2 punch out of Clemson would have been great to see.
That is a shame.
It's going to be the only thing that Jags fans have to hang their hat on this year.
Yeah.
There's a few players of the Jags that really need to stand up who are high picks that haven't really taken off. So I think the Jags have a few nice pieces there. Trevor Lawrence is obviously the cream on top.
Yes.
But please protect him. That's all I ask for the
Yeah.
next 2 seasons. Protect him. We don't need another Carson Wentz situation or anything like this. We don't need a Joe Burrow. Name some more. There's so many quarterbacks of late who've just had their head taken off and then,
And that's it.
Justin Herbert by the medical staff.
I mean, even
like
like to a degree, Tua in college.
Yeah.
He couldn't stay fit in that last season.
Yep.
So
that is your absolute creme de la creme prize of probably the last 10 years of college graduates. You need to protect that man with your life.
Oh, 100%. Now, Tavon Austin's on another team again this year. He's down in Jacksonville this year.
welcome, Tavon.
Yes.
Classic. Laquan Treadwell, if anyone remembers him, he's 26 now. He's in Jacksonville now as well. He was a very high draft pick about 4 years ago. So he's on another new team, which if anyone can get him going well, surely it's Trevor. They got Shaquille Griffin out of Seattle. That's 3 years, $40 million. So they've gone out and spent a little bit of money there. They also went and got a safety, Rashawn Jenkins, out of the Chargers. Signed him to big money as well, and signed another defensive player, Robertson Harris, the defensive tackle out of Chicago, on big money again. So they have gone out and put money into the defense.
And they still had Jack last year who played pretty well.
Jack was a ball player.
And they had a few young receivers last year that just didn't quite stand up that were taken in the second round.
And they got Mike Glennon off the roster, which is good to see.
I see there over your shoulder there, Chucky, that that's off the roster there.
Yeah, that's off the
roster. Can you just
roster.
flick it back the other way? It was a Agnew and it was Marvin Jones. So there's a couple of veteran receivers coming in there too to bolster DJ Shark and alike there to add some support.
I'm really looking for Shark to have a big year.
And Carlos Hyde. So
and
they have gone some older veteran type players on offense.
Yes.
And was James Robinson. He was the young undrafted running back last year.
He's back to being the number one running back. A little bit odd taking Travis Etienne in the first round, but I think... I don't know. There was just something nice about that whole. We'll just keep the two.
The nostalgia of having the two together.
I think there should be more.
It's smart.
There should be more of that in sport.
You'd be happy to have a 1-2 punch at running back.
God yeah.
So
especially when you gave up nothing for J Rob anyway.
Yeah, all you're doing is prolonging the careers of those two running backs. Because so often you see with running backs now, you get 4 years out of them and they're done. So if you can take them, they're splitting carries. You might get 7 years out of it.
Oh, happy wife, happy life. You keep Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne together, and there was plenty of success in that combo.
I would imagine. Surely he said something like, nah, go and get him. And they were like, okay, well, we just drafted number one, so we're just going to keep him happy.
Well, you look at 8 to 10 years of that. If Etienne's body can hold up, obviously he's on IR now and going to miss the season, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, he's also a 4-year vet too out of Clemson, so he's done the extra year as well.
His age is on that side.
Not calling him old by any means, right? But he's had a bit of work.
Yeah, that's it.
Then we get to the Texans. So when we talk about splitting the deck before, I have them at 13. Sorry.
13?
Jeez.
Whoa, bombshell there.
3 and 14, whereas Chuck has them 4 and 13. So just the flip. Yep. But as we were saying before, we both believe that is firmly overs now. So if we don't see Deshaun all year, they could well and truly go duck egg all year.
Duck eggs. Yeah.
They are so light on. It's comical.
And they lost all their veteran leadership.
Yeah.
They won how many games last year with Deshaun? Like 4.
Yeah.
So without Deshaun, they haven't got any better. So they had no picks.
You take JJ Watt out, and although he didn't play a lot last year, good for the locker room.
Huge.
Yeah.
You know, D-Hop's gone.
Yep.
You take him out, maybe was he good for the locker room? I don't know. It's debatable.
There is
great
nothing
player
on the free agency ends.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
Did we say they lost Will Fuller as well?
Yeah, I did say they lost that.
There's just nothing.
So who's there now? Brandon Cooks, and that's it.
Yeah, and Brandon Cooks as well.
Still suspect as well.
He was coming up. He had a good few seasons there in LA.
Everybody's getting out.
So it just reeks that everyone knows Deshaun. Why would Deshaun if nothing happens and everything's just fine with Deshaun, why would he want to stay?
Yeah, well, I don't think he does.
I know, but it's just crazy.
The other part as well is don't forget they didn't have a first or second rounder.
No, exactly.
Given them up to Miami.
Yeah, they had no picks.
So the first player they took here was Davis Mills, the quarterback out of Stanford.
Was that for Lamory Tunsil?
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
And then they took wide receivers and tight ends. But we're talking in the hundreds picks now.
Don't even worry about those.
So
this is a Titanic type situation here, where probably 2 seasons back you think you've got Deshaun Watson who's emerging as the premier quarterback talent in the league. He's right up there with the best of the best. Let's get some pieces. We've got DeAndre Hopkins, we've got this, and then all of a sudden he's gone. JJ Watt's gone.
Deshaun Watson can make holes disappear. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. But with him not there, they turn into a terrible team.
Yeah, gotcha.
Absolutely awful.
This is for me, it's a major red alert.
This is a 7-year, down the bottom for a long time.
Oh, you've hit the iceberg.
Yeah.
You've hit the iceberg and you're taking on water quick.
They hit it 4 hours ago. They're almost in.
Oh, jeez.
If Deshaun doesn't play...
the violin, yeah.
Man with the violin, great. I wasn't supposed to say that as sarcastic as I did. But coming back, if Deshaun doesn't play, this is a team that's probably going to have 5 starting quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
I don't reckon Ellinger's it. Didn't finish off the season great. Jacob Eason's not much.
They're both in Indianapolis.
Yeah, you're going to Indianapolis.
You're talking Tyrod Taylor, brother.
Tyrod Taylor.
So he might just have what?
No, Tyrod's still... He's going to get a crack rib.
Well, they'll give this Davis bloke.
The physio's come down. This is just a team. Tyrod hasn't been able to hold down a starting job ever.
They might see what that guy from Denver that played the one game, what he's doing.
The wide receiver that did it.
Yeah.
That wasn't Brett Hundley, was it? No.
No, Kendall someone or something.
He's also, I reckon, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Surely they're going after Tyler Heineke.
Oh. In Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spitballing now, but I think the sentiment...
Oh, you know who they should go after?
Cam Newton?
No.
Who?
The GOAT. Peterman.
Where is that Nathan Peterman these days?
He's in Oakland still.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's in the league.
Pretty sure he's still in Oakland.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
The sentiment of what Shanaz is saying holds true, though, that position without Deshaun is just
ugly.
It's going to be an absolute
the whole
dog's
roster's
breakfast.
ugly, though.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't start or stop at the quarterback position, but not having Deshaun to cover up those many
and it's
holes.
It's a new coach as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we said last year it was the worst job to get in football.
Roman Crennel was the interim coach.
Yeah. So we've got a brand new coach. We've got who knows
who's taking over from Roman Crennel.
Yeah.
Who's taking over from new GM because Bill O'Brien's gone too.
Yeah. So, yes, that... I think the Houston Texans right now would be the worst team to be supporting in the National Football League.
I think if you're a
It's not a team like the Carolina Panthers who we said, who's a good one to get on right now? Carolina, because in 5 years they might be all right. This ain't it. They're down in the doldrums.
Houston's salary situation is so poor. They're actually unplayable on Madden. So even if you want to dig him out of a hole, you can't get him out of the hole.
Right.
Like their salary is just absolute. Their cap is crapped. Cap is crapped.
Thanks.
Cap is crapped.
Okay.
But it is just an absolute schmozzle going on.
They've made some very bad decisions over the last 2 or 3 years, Blaze, and it's going to ruin this franchise for the next 5 to 10 years.
The Jets and the Texans, do they play?
They probably... no, because the Jags would be the bottom. I don't think they would, unless the whole division plays each other.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see that one.
They're not both the 4th.
Yeah, because
so unless the whole division last year, each other,
yeah.
I guess your main thought, if you're a Houston Texans fan this year, is maybe follow the Astros.
Yep.
Or the cheating MLB team.
The Rockets are going no better.
The Rockets won't be any worse than the Texans.
It's a hard time to be a Houston fan. So our heart goes out here. And I forgot you on the socials today. So
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, that's big.
Speaking of the socials, what did the fans say for the Texans? This will be the big one.
This will be good.
Did we do the rest of the South?
No, I can go back and cover them just quickly if you like.
Yeah, go back and cover them.
Rattle them off, mate.
So Houston, the line is 3.5. Slammer, sorry for forgetting the Texans fans.
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah.
79% have gone under 3.5.
Yeah, and that's fair, I reckon.
It absolutely speaks volumes of where
and I think that was one of the sports bet actually had them at 4s, so
Yeah.
I dropped it by half a win. Because I don't like it when they do flat lines, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans, the line is 9.5.
Yeah, so we both went over.
80% of the fans have gone over.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
The Colts, the line is 8.5.
Okay, we were both 9 and 8.
75% of the fans have gone over.
Okay, so they must be hot on him.
Yep. And you know what sports
quarterback
bet are hot on?
man.
Yeah.
The Jaguars. They've got the line at 6.5.
Yeah, I know. That seems crazy.
87% have gone under. That 13% get checked.
Yeah.
Get checked.
They're expecting big things out of him.
The Jags have to be one of those ones just slipping into your little
the Jags have got to be unders, don't they?
Yeah, they've got to be.
I mean, they're getting 2 free wins from the Texans.
Yeah.
But then it's hard to see them elsewhere.
It's hard to see them getting another 5 wins.
That gets them under 4 for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's going to be... It's tough. Houston,
it seems like a safe bet.
Houston's tough. Jaguars seem safe at that line. Obviously, the Titans, the runaway divisional champs, we think, unless the Colts can sort their quarterback position out ASAP.
Well, that's the thing with the Titans as well, Blaze. I mean, with you get an automatic 4 wins. Like, you just love to see that in your division.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady made a name for himself with that.
Made a career out of it.
Yeah.
You'd get 5. You'd beat the Colts at home.
Yeah.
True. Unless Darius Leonard gets through. A few picks. Deflections. Nah, I'm out.
This is what happens when you try to talk facts.
No, I meant roll us out.
All right, mate. If you've enjoyed these two giving me shit all night, please like and subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and all the rest of it. Over on the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. As always, reach out to us on there.
Well done.
Good save. Caught it. And with all that said and done, Chucky, please send us out for
He's been Slim, I've been Slam. That's the Bandwagon fan. Good night.